Hello, this is the Shade Tree Engineer, Andy Rushing, Evangelist Andy Rushing. I've had 2 more heart surgeries, and so I've been delaying putting this some more video up, but I'm going to show you the world's first fully remote control or touch toe control and fully self-deployable, retractable, in and out of the water, and also rotate it about 180 degrees, 90 degrees. And I've showed you that on previous video. Now I'm stepping up. I'm trying to design a more compact system. Johnson Outboard and Humminbird has not contacted me, and I guess they're not going to. I tried to get them to contact me to make something for handicapped people and for disabled people, but let me say from the get-go here, by using an Ulterra on the front of my boat that's got spot lock and everything, I can lock on any GPS or brush pile or whatever, and that front trolling motor will keep me on the brush pile. Now, you may not want to invest in a fully self-deployable system, but because I'm handicapped with rods and screws and heart problems, that's the way I designed mine. And if you look on the Shade Tree Engineer, you'll see the world's first fully automatic control by remote control or touch toe control self-deploy system for Mega Live. Now, I'm working on a more compact system because that Mega Live system involves me or you or anybody having to have the second Ulterra, which I do have on the back of my boat to do that. And I can also spot lock that Ulterra on a brush pile, and it will keep my Mega Live lined up with a brush pile while my front Ulterra keeps me locked on the GPS location, general location, but the Mega Live will stay on the brush pile or the direction that I've set it up for, because it has spot lock and touch toe control too. So anyway, you could get the non-self-deployable trolling motor that's got spot lock, and if you bought 2 of them and took the foot control motor off the bottom of it and replaced that with the Mega Live system that I showed you, you got, by doing it that way, you got an extra motor that if something happens to your main trolling motor up front, you can just swap it out. Stick it in your truck if you fish tournaments or fishing out of town or something. Carry it with you, and if your trolling motor goes down, the lower unit, well, slip the other one on there. You got a backup. So if you want to invest in the Humminbird new system that they got for their Mega Live to lock it on brush piles and stuff and scan back and forth and all that and spend $1,500, then what you got a system to do that, and you got a trolling motor that'll do what you need on your boat. But if you buy 2 and set it up the way I'm telling you, that if both of them's got spot lock, if both of them are just identical, you can take the lower motor head off of it and put the Mega Live system on it that I got, and you can lock it on a brush pile. Now, it won't scan back and forth, back and forth, back and forth like theirs will, but I could set up a system to do that electronically. But I'm trying to do this as cheap as a Shade Tree Engineer would do it, so that you could duplicate it. So having said that, I made an adapter. I'm going to switch to the forward mode here. I made this adapter here, and this U-bolt goes around my Ulterra collar that holds my belt that goes up and down. And I know they don't recommend you putting any extra weight on your Ulterra, but I'll tell you what messes in my Ulterra belts up. That's when you putting it in and out and your cable gets hung up, or you do it and it goes down, hits your trailer tongue or stump. That's what messes those belts up, and they're about 15, 30 bucks. Get you one, carry it with you, learn how to put it on. It's not that complicated. And so you can measure about the length of your old one, and you can replace it if you got the tools with you in about 30 minutes or so. You can change that thing out yourself. Just if you jam it, don't keep running your motor and bind it all up in there, because you do that, you're going to probably mess your guides up inside of your motor that picks it up and down. But I made this adapter here. This U-bolt go around the lower collar right above the trolling motor lower unit, and this pivot bracket, as you can see, I made where it will lay against the side of the trolling motor head right here. This bolts to the collar, and this sticks down toward the bottom of the motor, this end right here that I got my thumb on, and this pivots. So because of that, I don't have all them fancy things to hold my phone, folks. This shade tree, it sets on your trolling motor like that, and that would be straight down right there. And you can make rods to adjust it above the water, and this would give you straight forward to straight down, or even straight back behind you, depending on how you set it up. You can do that on your Ulterra without any electronic 12-volt actuators or anything like I've got on my rear system. So that might be something for you to consider. It's pretty lightweight. You're just adding the weight of this piece of aluminum right here, the strap to hold your Mega Live, and then this bracket right here on the back. It's just a piece of flat aluminum that I've been around in that shape right there, so that the left side, or this side, let me lay it down, so that the back side here will lay right against the motor, and this clamps to the collar right above the motor with a U-bolt. And I made this strap to come across here to put the U-bolt through, and that works real well. I mean, I like it. I don't even have any rods hooked to it, and just by pulling on the cable a little bit, I can make it go straight down or straight forward or anywhere in between, just knowing how it sits in the water. But I can always peep over the side of the boat and look at it. And sometimes I have to rotate my trolling motor to the right and then pull up on my cable a little bit to get it back going in the direction I want it to. But at any rate, that's a simple, pretty lightweight. It's all aluminum except for this clamp right here, and this clamp right here, the U-bolt, and the rest of this is aluminum. And you got the weight of your Mega Live on there. You haven't added that much to your trolling motor weight for it to pick it in and out. It'll do it fine. The problem that you will get into is if you're not careful and that cable hangs up when you're deploying or retracting it, if it's not turned the right direction, then you could mess your belt up on your Ulterra. So if it's in warranty, that wouldn't be good. If it's out of warranty, you can do what you want to do. But that's the system there. And of course, everybody, you can go to, as I said, to YouTube, to my channel, The Shade Tree Engineer, or Evangelist Andy Rushing at YouTube, and you can see the world's first fully self-deployable, remote control, touch tow control Mega Live system. Now, having said all that, let me say I'm constantly been trying to improve it and make it where it will turn 360 degrees without the rods on the actuators that put it in straight forward to straight down or any degree in between, or putting it in landscape mode and putting it from straight forward, straight down, or any angle in between. I'm constantly working to improve that, and I have finally figured it out how to do it where I can rotate it with the rod still being able to do that full motion of straight forward to straight down, or in landscape mode straight forward, straight down, put it in and out of landscape mode without taking it out of the water. I'm the world's first, folks. I'm sure that somebody's going to duplicate it, but I can't help that. I'm not strapped with money, and I didn't go to GoFundMe to try to get my product patent, because they'll change it and make it some other way, and you're going to spend a lot of money getting a patent. I done had several utility patents, and it don't do no good. You got to have money to get the whole 9 yards. And so I got a skeeter after me here. Y'all got skeeters. We got skeeters here in East Texas. You may not have none where you at, but this is December 31st. I'm just turned 75 years old. This is our 31st anniversary. I'm sorry, our 56th anniversary on the 31st of December. And so Jesus has been good to me. You may not like me saying that, and you may not want to listen to I'm going to kill that skeeter before it's over. You may not like listening to my YouTube channels, but I'm going to tell you, if you leave Jesus out of your life, all this fishing stuff is going to pass away. But eternity is for real, and it's forever. And what you decide to do with Jesus' blood now will determine your eternity forever. So I encourage you to consider Jesus as your Savior through faith in His blood. Now, having said that, you can email me at evangelistandyrushing@gmail.com or theshadetreeengineer@gmail.com. So I hope I'm going to show you just a little glimpse here. I'm going to swap it back around and show you what I'm working on right now. And as you look at this, I've gone back to the basic plate. I've got the rod here that's going to change it from straight forward to straight down, and it's going inside of another rod. This is my 360 shaft. You remember I took my 360, cut the shaft off, split the tube, got my wire out, and that 360 is now mounted on my the world's first fully automatic controlled deploy retract system to put it in and out of the water, and fully changing it from straight forward, straight down, any degree angle, or for putting it in landscape, straight forward, straight down, or any angle in between. So I'm working on a new system, because these, let me go back to the other view, because these rods, when it would rotate, they would hit the bottom of my boat, because they were on the outside of the Altera system that I got it mounted on. Now I'm working on a tube, aluminum tube, inside of the shaft that my Mega Live was mounted on, with both the rods going through this tube part way, and I'm going to have to widen this a little bit right in here, and going through the aluminum tube here. And I may eventually, I'm not sure, I may weld one of these rods, either the landscape mode rod or the straight forward to straight down rod, to the case or to the outside or inside of this aluminum rod, and actually aluminum tube, I'm sorry, and weld the rod to it, and then connect the 12-volt actuator to the upper end of that aluminum tube, and then connect the other rod, one rod of the other, to a 12-volt actuator. But all the rods would be inside of this 360 shaft that I cut off, and they'll also be inside of this aluminum tube inside the 360 shaft. So that's what I have figured out. Now I'm laying it out, getting the straight forward to straight down and landscape length of these rods here right. So when I come up here above, now on this old system, you remember I had the motor off an old trolling motor that was not self-deploy, but it rotates 360 degrees. I've got that motor wired up, as you remember. If you looked at my other videos, I got it on joysticks on my chair arm on the front of my boat. I got a deep V bass tracker, walk-through windshield boat sitting over there, and I had a motor off of an old trolling motor that I mounted here, and with the joysticks I can rotate this left to right, and then with the same box that joystick is in, I got another joystick that will operate the 12-volt actuators that will raise this, pull these rods up and down to put it in straight forward, straight down, or any angle in between, or landscape straight forward or straight down, or any angle in between. So that's all I'm going to say in this video, is that I'm working back with that particular system because I want it where it's portable. If I want to get in my other boat here and go up back in the woods and in shallow water and stumps and trees, or if I want to go with somebody else, I want my system to be portable. If I go with a friend on a pontoon boat, I want to be within a few minutes of being able to set this on their boat and have it on and working in just a matter of minutes. And or on this boat or on that boat over there, I want it, or if I want to put it on a little John boat, whatever, I want it to be portable. And the problem with using the Ulterra self-deploy system, I really like the self-deploy touch tow, remote control, put it in and out of the water, but I don't have the versatility that I want. Now, I can make it retract out of the water with an actuator, 12-volt actuator. I can lift it straight up, and I could take another one and make it lean in. I'm not going to make it that complicated because I want this system that I'm building now to be portable. So I'm going back with the old 12-volt motor or transmission or whatever they want to call the thing, and that come off of a trolling motor 20 years ago, and I saved it. Well, I'm putting it on right here like I had it before. If you watch my other videos, you saw that. So this is what I'm making now. I don't think I'll put the retractable system on it unless I put the retractable system on my new boat. I would not put it on my old boat or have it on this system if I'm going to put it on somebody else's boat. It's just too involved. But I could make the retractable system to pull it out of the water at least while you're moving. I could pick it straight up if I wanted to, or I could swing it in manually, or I could put another 12-volt actuator on it and control them by joysticks and do it automatically from my chair without getting up. So the system is adaptable to what you want it to be. But I'm going back with the lightweight version, and the speedy change from one boat to the other is what I'm working on right now. And this same system of how I'm encasing these rods in this tube would work on the tube that I put on my on my Ulterra system that's on the back of my boat, on that boat over yonder. I could incorporate this inside the shaft of that shaft on that Ulterra motor. If you remember right, I took the motor with the attached shaft off of that motor, that system, and I put a used shaft with a belt, fastened it at the bottom of the shaft, and at the top of the Ulterra head, trolling motor head, just like as if it had a motor on the bottom of it, but I had my Mega Live and 360 mounted down there. So you have to go back and look at the other videos. But I could incorporate this enclosed shaft on that system with the rods going up into this tube, and use the outside shaft that I got mounted on that Ulterra. I could encase these rods in there now when I get this system designed, and I can fully rotate it 360 degrees if I want to go to that trouble. And I can control the straight forward, straight down, anywhere in between, or landscape straight forward, straight down, anywhere in between, with these rods with the joysticks that I'm already got mounted on my chair on. So I hope you take these ideas and adapt them. If you need to, send me an email, and click on that bell, folks. Click on that like button. Give me some support, would you, out there? Show me that you at least maybe seeing what I'm doing, and pass it on to handicapped, disabled people and to veterans that's limited mobility, so other people can enjoy this. And I realize everything I do is my financial loss, and preparing all this is somebody else's financial gain. They'll make money off of it probably. But give me a like, and you can also find some of my videos on the new Rumble site at rumble.com. By putting in there Evangelist Andy Rushing, you'll find my sermons, and you got to be tough to listen to my sermons. And also you'll find the video on the world's first fully remote system at rumble.com, rumble.com, Evangelist Andy Rushing. Thank you, folks.